Okay. My one is question 1. Explain the differences between the concept five aggregates, panchakanda, and five aggregates of clinging, panicca, upadana kanda. Okay, the difference between the five aggregate and the five aggregate subject to clinging. The five aggregate, that's the panchakanda, is actually the neutral framework. This is the Buddha descriptive phenomenological model for analyzing what we conventionally call a being or a person. It is a neutral, impersonal breakdown of the entirety of conditioned experience into five interdependent categories. They are the first category is the form, which we call rupa, the physical body and material world experienced through the senses. That is our senses, the five senses. Then the feeling, vedana, the affective tone of experience. That is, we have three. There is the present, unpresent, and the neutral. Perception, sanya, the mental function of laboring, recognizing, and identifying. Example is blue color, a car or a friend. Then number 4, mental formation, sankhara, a vast category of volitional, constructive mental activities, intention, thoughts, habits, disposition, and karmic formation. And the last one is consciousness, that is vijnana, the bare awareness of cognizing of an object via a sense-based eye consciousness, ear consciousness, and etc. The other few. Then the Panchakanda alone simply describe the process of experience itself. They are the raw materials of existence. In this sense, an arahant who is a fully enlightened being still experiences the five aggregates. They see, they still feel, and they also perceive. Now, the second one, B, the five aggregate which is subject to clinging, that is the panicca, upadana, kanda. We call it the problematic reality. This is the same five aggregates that we have discussed earlier, but now viewed through the lens of ignorance, avijja, and craving, that's tanha. The prefix upadana, clinging, grasping, attachment, is what transforms the neutral aggregates into the source of suffering, dukkha. Upadana involves identifying with aggregates. I am this body, these are my feeling, this is my perception. Then craving for aggregates to be certain way, to get a present feeling, to avoid the unpleasant one, to be a certain kind of person. Grasping onto the aggregate as me, my, or myself. Thus, the five aggregate of clinging are the five aggregates when taken personally, when they become the object of desire and the subtract from a mistaken sense of self. They are the aggregates fueled by the cycle of dependent origin, paticca samuppada. For the unawakened person, that is the putujana like us, all experience of the aggregate is actually experience of the upadana kanda. Their entire world is filtered through clinging and self-reference. A practical analogy is to think of the five aggregate as the raw data from your senses and mind. Like light hitting the retina is form, a neutral sensory signal is feeling, recognition of face is perception, a thought about that person is formation, and the simple awareness of seeing is consciousness. The five aggregate of clinging is what happened when you immediately identify with that data. That's my rival. clinging to form and perception. You feel unpleasant feeling, Vedana, and then generate anger, like he disrespect me as a mental formation, Sankara, rooted in clinging to a self. The entire process is now saturated with I, me, and mine. Why this distinction matter in a Buddhist practice? The goal of the path is not to destroy the five aggregate, but to eradicate the clinging to them. This is the cessation of suffering, Nibbana. The method we use is the insight, vipassana, involve observing the five aggregates arising and pass away without adding clinging. One sees there's a feeling, but this is not me, this is not mine, this is not myself. This disconstructs the aggregate of clinging. The third noble truth, the cessation of suffering, is defined as the reminderless fading away and cessation of that very craving, giving it up, relinquishing it, letting it go, not clinging to it. This is the cessation of the upadana khanda. In essence, the five aggregate are the landscape. The five aggregate of clinging are the prison we build within that landscape through ignorance and craving. Enlightenment is living freely in the landscape without the prison wall. That's the end. I don't know whether I talk about the eight noble uh eight four path eight noble four path or not. Must we go further than that?
Good enough. Anybody want to comment on that?
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure because we are in the Abhidhamma section. But if your presentation is more for, like, say, if a Dharma talk, I think is very good. It's easy to understand, and you don't need technical understanding. But I thought if we are in the Abhidhamma classes, I'm not too sure whether this way of presentation will be sufficient or not. Maybe Brother Lau can help us on that.
Let me.
What is your opinion how it should be in the Abhidhamma way? Maybe you have some ideas. Initially, I thought it was quite good, but I don't know. I mean, what is the thing you say is not really match with the Abhidhamma point?
That means must be more detail lah. More detail.
Because Abhidhamma has to do with the cetasika, rupa, and the mana, which you did touch, but it's just touch and go. So it's more, a lot of it is more of the conceptual, more of Sutanta way of looking at it. But if it's the Dharma aspect, I think this answer will be excellent. Okay? But when I look at it from the Abhidhamma eye, then we still have to go back to the Citasika as part of the explanation. That's the way I look at it.
Okay, I have my copy here. I don't know you all like it or not.
Okay.
The other thing, Brother Lau,
Yeah.
can I comment on the another one is the, I think Sister Petlen, you put there the Arahan, the slide, the there's one slide where you mentioned about the Panchakanda, and then after that at the last part you mentioned about the Arahan. I think they still have the five aggregates.
Yes, they still have the five aggregate, but their five aggregate is neutral. The five aggregate is just a normal five aggregate only, but they don't have this five aggregate of clinging anymore.
Yeah, but I think the sentence you put in, I
Wrong.
can't remember exactly how you phrase it.
Not understand, is it?
I think it might lead to misunderstanding. You come down a bit more when you describe the five aggregates.
This one?
Yeah.
Ah,
Still
they still
experience.
they still experience the
Yes.
five aggregate because they are still human, ma. They are still human beings, so they still experience this five aggregate, but they don't experience the clinging anymore. They already let go the clinging, already dispassion already.
I think another way or to add it is
Describe.
still has an experience the five aggregates. Because
Oh,
still experience because Puthujjana also experience.
Puthujjana is not enlightened, ma.
Yeah, but they still experience.
Ah,
Even Arahan also experience. Or rather, I would suggest instead of still experience, I would say has the five aggregates.
has the five aggregate.
Still has the
Okay,
five
okay.
aggregates.
Still has the five aggregate lah. Okay.
Or maybe say still has the five aggregate but do not have the five aggregates of clinging to make it
Maybe
clearer.
elaborate on that. We'll add
Eh,
the
but
difference, because you have to highlight the
if
difference.
but brother Ko, they still experience ma. Who say they don't experience?
That's why,
Because they still have all these five aggregates with them ma. It's
because
just that they don't have the five aggregates of clinging already. But
Right.
these five aggregate, they still have them, so they are still experiencing these five aggregates because they are still in this world. I
no,
don't.
I understand. But
Ah.
if you read your sentence,
Mm.
how do you differentiate between the Arahan and the Puthujjana in this case? In your sentence.
Puthujjana, we still experience we still have these five aggregates and we still have the aggregates of clinging.
Yeah, but here in this sentence, can you
Ah.
differentiate between the Arahan and Puthujjana? You can't, right?
So
So you still, that's why I say, still has an experience of five aggregates, but
still
not
has an
has
experience
an
the five.
experience.
Okay.
But do
Okay,
not,
okay.
because you have to add in, but do not
Cling,
experience
but
or
do not have the clinging.
to the
Okay,
five
okay.
aggregates.
Okay.
That will differentiate between Arahan, a fully enlightened one, compared to a Puthujjana, which later you describe about Puthujjana.
Okay, can. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Pei, there's one slide where you say something subtracts. That one don't really get the idea. There's one slide you put something subtracts.
Yeah, this one's like.
Not sure which slide, but there's one slide you put there. Brother Cole, you remember or not? There's one slide with something subtraction.
Something what? I don't get your.
There's one slide, don't know what she write, then read, don't know what subtracts.
Wait.
Not sure which slide.
Remember, you just scroll on and then see whether Chai-Hun managed to catch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, wait.
you scroll on.
Yeah, I know. I think it's the oh, this one is it? This one.
Correct. What is subtract? And the subtracts for what is subtract?
What is subtract?
Subtract is the object. What is that? Subtract is the what?
Subtract is something like a surface. Okay. Thus the five aggregate of clinging and the five aggregates, when taken personally, when they become the object of desire, and the subtract from mistaken, that means is something like how do I say is a foundation for mistaken.
It's an item.
It's something like actually I got this word from something like a foundation or a surface or a process for a mistaken sense of self. That means uh you you are in the can I say the process, and the process for a mistaken sense of self, like that? Cannot, brother Cole. Or brother Lau. When they become the object of desire and the substrate for a mistaken, that means can I say like
I have a copy here. Copy is sent to you. You go and distinguish it, because here put what's the difference between Arahant and wording? It said wording experience life to the five aggregates of clinking. The reality is filtered through I, me, and mine, leading to dukkha. Okay? And Arahant experience the life as the five aggregates, and they see the pure impersonal process.
wait. I close my one, only you share your one. Wait.
Okay? This is my copy. First, yes, what's the difference between the five aggregates, the Panchakanda and Panuchapandakanda? Right? So the difference is that this five aggregates is a description ontological framework, is a neutral analytical breakdown of what a sentient being is, dynamic composed of the five intertwined heaps of experience. It describes totality of condition and distance. So all sentient experience is encompassed here. So the other one, five aggregates subject to clinking. Psychological and psychological diagnosis refers strictly to the five aggregates when they are tainted by ignorance, craving, and are thereby grasp it and identified and clung as self, me, or mine. So this is a domain of dukkha. Okay. So next one, you explain the five aggregates. Your sister already explained. I know you go through form, feeling, perception, sana, and then consciousness. So the key point, I guess, they are empty, suna, impersonal, anatta, and in a flux of anicca. So they are like a river, possess not a thing, a fully enlightened being, an arahant, still experience fire gates. They see, feel, think, and act as, but they do not do so without attachment or identification. So this one is talking about if you are an arahant state. So the next one about this, fire against subject to clinking, the feel for suffering. Sister already said already, I'm not go through. So it's talking about related to the mistake of I am, and myself. So here I explain the clinking manifest into each aggregate, clinking to form, identify as me, and then clinking to feeling, craving pleasant feeling, then clinking to perception, and rigidity attached to views, labels, and ideologies, and clinking to mental formation, identify with our thoughts, opinion, and emotion. Then clinking to consciousness, the most upper and dangerous clinking, the sense of permanent inner witnesses or knower or a conscious self behind the experience. So this is the rule of I am. So next one, I talk about purpose from suffering to liberation. Okay, I know I go through first five, four noble truth, explain through. The difference is the Arahant and the worldling. Worldling experience the life to the five aggregates of clinking. Their reality is filtered through I, me, mine, and to dukkha, leading to dukkha. Then Arahant experience life as the five aggregates. They see pure impersonal process. They feel pleasure and pain, but without the secondary layer of craving. So the difference between Arahant and worldling and identification. For them, aggregates are mere aggregates. They are like aggregates of clinking, but the clinking itself has been extinguished. So that's the difference between Arahant and worldling. And then this table show between the five aggregates and then the five aggregates of clinking. Okay, you're going to go through yourself. And then finally, the conclusion part is that the difference is not the content experience, but in the quality of relationship to the experience. Five aggregates refer as raw data of experience. The five aggregates of thinking, the same data which is infected with virus of self-view leading to attachment, aversion, and delusion. So this entire part of Buddhism can be seen as a journey from relating to the experience of Panchu Dana Kanda relating to Pancha Kanda, from a constricted, suffering-bound ownership to a liberated, spacious, and wise engagement with the ever-changing flow of life. Okay or not? If okay, then I send it to you all. You're going to digest it.
Sister Benning, sorry, I want to ask. Your Paliwan Panicha Upadana Kanda, that one is
Spell
also
wrongly.
correct.
I spell wrongly, right? I think I spell wrongly.
Not sure lah, because usually we know is Panchu Upadan, Panchu Padana, the one.
Yeah,
the one
I
by
think
the
I
last
spell,
two,
yeah, correct. That one I think I spell wrongly, yeah.
Okay, not sure lah.
Hey.
I don't know, not sure.
It's okay. I think, yeah lah. Brother Lau Yang is right lah. My one wrong spelling. But Brother Lau, this question is more of a general, right?
Is explaining the differences between
the five
whirling and Arahant. We're taking the five aggregates. So here, more explanation to the more in depth to what you stated in your slide.
Yeah.
So probably you can import whatever you want into there.
Yeah. Okay. Can.
Okay or not? Okay, then I send to you all.
So, and the same question I would like to ask Brother Lau is, you see, I don't know whether this question will come out in Abhidhamma or not, but if we were to come out from Abhidhamma side, is this way of explaining be satisfactory to the, what they call, the invigilator who marked the paper or not? This is what I'm worried.
Don't worry lah. The monk they down there unlike the university they are more sympathy one As long as you write with sense they will accept it Don't worry that's why you all can get A easily.
So, Brother Cole, if you want to write this one, what do you want to write? That means you want to write how to write.
Yeah.
The five aggregates, I think you have to elaborate along with the Chitta and Chittasika law.
But then the Chitta and Chittasika also, or then the Arahant part you want to say is a supramundane Chitta.
Then after that you
then
use
all the Chittasika are beautiful Chittasika.
Dependent on, no, then you link to, otherwise it will be too long. Then you link to dependent origination. How did the Upadana come about? And how did the Arahant break it by not having
ignorance?
No, they have broken the dependent origination chain, you see. So that's how they break the Upadana.
So Brother Cole, you will explain the 12 GO lah in this case.
No, you will brief one. That means it's from how does the contact arises and then lead to feeling, lead to craving,
reverse linking and things like that.
And this is where the Putujana are stuck there, see? Because if you talk about the self, I, and all those, because on the absolute reality, that will have to come from the Dharma side, not the Abhidhamma side, you see. But it's because we mistaken that what they call we could not see the reality. We went into the what they call the clinging. When we went to the clinging, that's how the craving leads to clinging. I mean, if I were to approach it, I think I would approach it that way so that otherwise it would be too long.
You will touch on craving, then go to clinging then you cut the link between the contact, or either you cut the contact or you cut at the craving
Then that's how you break, and by breaking it, that's how Arahant achieve enlightenment, full enlightenment. And they also will not be conditioned by the dependent origination, and that's why they will not come back to you. The birth is ended.
What about the Sotapan? Have they cut off all the?
No. They still come back,
Even no. That means they still have the clinging of the five aggregates.
The final clinging,
Okay.
Rupa clinging is still Rupa Bhava and Arupa Bhava is still a form of clinging.
Okay, correct.
Because when I approach, it depends because if I've been looking at it from Abhidhamma, then I try to look at it from the Abhidhamma aspects. But if I look at it from the Dharma side, then yeah, I think the way you present will be excellent. That's how I will
Okay.
really.
Okay.
So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So this is the updated version of the Brother Lau given some advice and comments. Okay. So next slide, Brother Lau. Okay. This is the introduction. So the Noble Eightfold Path is not merely a set of ethical guidelines, but a structured training of the mind articulated in the Abhidhamma as a set of 8 wholesome mental factors, cetasikas. These factors arise with wholesome consciousness, kusala chitta, and mature from mundane lokiya to supramundane lokatara levels, culminating in the 4 stages of enlightenment. This penetration explores each factor from the Abhidhamma perspective, examining its characteristic, function, and role in the cessation of suffering. Next slide, please. The Noble Eightfold Path is the 4th Noble Truth. It has a long name, Dukkha Nirodha Gamini Patipada Arya Satya, the Noble Truth of the practice. Dukkha means suffering. Nirodha means cessation of suffering. Gamini means that which goes to or by which people go to. Patipada means practice of the way. Arya means noble. Satya means truth. Thus, the whole term means the way leading to the cessation of suffering. The shorter name of it is Magga Satya or middle way. It has 8 path factors. Next slide. The first factor is wisdom, panya, samadhi. Panya is a beautiful cetasika. Wisdom, panya discerns conditionality, the true knowledge of things in the light of impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and non-self anatta. The commentary explains that wisdom as Dhamma Pativeda Lakhana Panya, that is, wisdom has the characteristics of penetrating into the real nature of Dhamma. Its function is to expel darkness of ignorance that conceals the real nature of the Dhammas. Samadhi works at 2 levels. First, at the mundane level, comprehension of karma and its fruits supports generosity, virtues, and restraint. Supramundane level, penetrative insight that sees Nibbana at the moment of Magga Chitta, path consciousness, cutting fetters according to the stage attained. Next slide. The second factor is initial application, Vitakka, Sabbasaṅgaha. Vitakka is one cetasika from the Pakinaka, the occasionals group. It is a mental factor by which the consciousness and concomitant mental factors are lifted to the object. Its function is to strike at the object. Sabbasaṅgaha is threefold: thought of renunciation, Nikkama Sankappa; thought of non-evil, Abhyapada Sankappa; thought of harmlessness, Avihimsa Sankappa. In the first jhana consciousness of the 5 material sphere, Rupa Vachara Chitta, Vitaka is named Apana. It holds the consciousness and associated mental factors to the object of meditation. In the sense sphere beautiful consciousness, Kama Sobhana Chitta, Vitaka arises as a mundane path factor, which leads one to the sensuous blissful state, Kama Sugati, and ultimately to Nibbana. Vitaka is also the Janaga factor that suppresses the hindrance of sloth and torpor. Third one, right speech, Samavacha. Right speech is a cetasika abstinence, virati. Virati means to refrain from delighting in. Here there is evolution chitana to refrain from 4 kinds of wrong speech. False speech, musavada, divisive speech, pusuna vacha, Hard speech, parusa vacha. Idle speech, sampa palapa vacha. Right action, sama kamanta, one of the abstinence mental factor. It is to abstain from killing, panatipata, stealing, adinda dana, sexual misconduct, kamesu michachara. In Abhidhamma, this is a wholesome mental factor that restrains the body door at the moment of choice. The next, right livelihood, sama ajiva. Earning for one's living should be derived from righteous means. Thus, one should abstain from wrong livelihood that involves killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, wrong speech or tricks in slavery, animal slaughtering, weapons, intoxicants, or poison. Number 6 is energy, viriya, sama vayama. Viriya is one of the pakinaka cetasika. Viriya has the characteristics of activating the consciousness and the associated mental factors from sloth and torpor. 4 supreme efforts, sama padana, prevent unwholesome states from arising, abandon arising unwholesome states, arouse wholesome states, and maintain and perfect the arising wholesome states. Number 7 is mindfulness sati, samasati. The general meaning of mindfulness is to remember. In the context of mental factor, it carries a deeper meaning. Besides remembering, mindfulness takes the object firmly. It is likened to a well-grounded, steady iron post onto which a revolving gate is installed at the entrance to an ancient city. Mindfulness guards the sense door like a gatekeeper who keeps watching and guarding the entrance. In cultivation, it aligns with the 4 satipatthanas, body, feeling, mind, and dhamma. Number 8, continue. The characteristic of mindfulness is twofold, namely, apilapana lakana sati, not to let the object float away. Not change, unnoticed, but to pay full attention. It keeps on prompting the good things without allowing them to fade away into obscurity. Second, upaganhana lakana sati, mindfulness that expels the bad and selects the wholesome objects and keeps one engaged on the wholesome objects. Number 8, one-pointedness, ekagata, sama samadhi. It is the mental factor that brings into focus the consciousness and the mental factors that arise simultaneously on a particular object. It conglomerate or unite the consciousness with its mental factors. The characteristics of one-pointedness is non-wavering. The commentary explains as avikhepa lakana, which means non-bewilderment or non-distraction. One-pointedness is a jhana factor. So in conclusion, the Abhidhamma framework, the Noble Eightfold Path, is realized through the cultivation of 8 specific mental factors that purify consciousness and dismantle defilements. These factors become fully integrated at the supramundane level in the 4 path consciousnesses. Stream entry, Sotapatti, once returner, Sakadagami, non-returner, Anagami, and Arahatship, Arahata. Thus, the path is not just practice, it is the mind-made transformation leading from suffering to Nibbana through the perfection of wisdom, ethics, and concentration. That's all.
Anybody
Any
want comment?
Yeah, can I? Because
Yes, brother. So,
when I look at your topic, you see, explain the Noble Eightfold Path, and from the perspective of Abhidhamma.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's go into your subtopic. For example, the 8 Noble Path, number 1, wisdom. What I was wondering, why didn't you put the samadhi first, then after that you refers to the wisdom panya? That's how I think I will link it to the title. But you do the cetasika first, then the path. But the question is to understand the path from the perspective of Abhidhamma, that means from the perspective of cetasika. So if I were to put it, I'll put that as number 1, samadhi. Then Samadhi is related to Panya Cetasika in the Abhidhamma perspective. And Panya is a beautiful Cetasika. Then that's how I will link it. And maybe there will be some description about why Ditti is considered as Panya.
Actually, initially I put that one, but then after that I look at the book yeah, put this way, so I also put this way, lor.
Because if the title is, the question is explain the Noble Eightfold Path, but from the angle of Abhidhamma. But here you are you're explaining the Cetasika with regards to the Noble Eightfold Path is the other way around. That I mean that's how I read it.
Okay. I think maybe your way is easier to understand.
Yeah. I feel that is straightforward.
Yeah. Actually, initially I put that way, but after that I look at our book. Our book started with the Noble Eightfold Path first at the top. Then at the bottom it say from Abhidhamma something. Then it actually come as what I put. That means they put wisdom, Panya, then Samadhi. That's why I changed it to this way, lor.
Oh, okay.
But maybe because I didn't have the top part where it says the Noble Eightfold Path is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They actually started with that first. Then only they come to the Abhidhamma, but I straight away cut into this one.
Yeah, maybe if you have the preliminary explanation of the Eight Noble Path, then it will be easier. Because here,
Brother, okay, agree. Brother Lau, what do you think? I think. Sorry.
End of it.
Start with the Samadhi first.
What you want me to do?
No. I mean, Brother Cole's idea is to not to put this way, but to put.
Because you're taking exam, not me.
But no, I mean, what do you think? Which one is better? It's actually the same lah. It's just that which word come come earlier than the other word.
Okay, no further. I close.
Okay.
You make correction and send to Sumeta.
That means still correct. Put the Samadhi first.
but then Lao say up to you already.
Okay.
Anyway, I agree with Brother Cole. I think it's good to mention what are the 8 path factors and then relate it to the Cetasikas. That sounds more closer to the demand of the questions.
Okay.
Probably unless you have an introduction on the Noble Eightfold Path, then maybe that way at least people can refer back to it. That otherwise I think they'll be blur also. How did this come about? And because you did not mention how did this Panya relate to Samadhi also. Okay, so
Okay.